What's going on, guys? Chameleon here. Today I'm going to show you the best class setup for the Aug, specifically for Warzone. This is going to come as a complete surprise, but the Aug with specific ammo equip, which I'll explain later, actually has the highest damage per second value of any assault rifle or any SMG. So it's pretty solid on paper, it carries out a decent range, and it's quite accurate. So the setup I'm going to show you today is going to be somewhat of a hybrid AR/SMG, and it will be a beast. Which gun do you guys think is better, the Aug or the MP5? Leave me a comment below. But real quick before we start, please smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and here we go, let's do this. First up, we have the muzzle. For the muzzle, you want to set this to the monolithic suppressor. This will increase your damage range and keep your weapon silenced. Both of these are super important for Warzone. We need the range for those long distance engagements, and we need the silencer because if we don't have this, we'll show up on the radar every time we shoot, which will lead us to a lot of unnecessary trouble, but with the monolithic suppressor, we'll avoid all this headache. Next up, we have the underbarrel. You want to set this to the Ranger foregrip. This will give you recoil control and aiming stability. You lose some mobility and ADS here, but the Ranger foregrip is actually geared for long range combat and gives us boosts in the right categories, so the trade-off is well worth it. Now comes the most important piece of this entire setup, the ammunition. You want to set this to the 5.56 NATO 60 round drums. This is what's going to turn your SMG into an AR hybrid. These rounds will shred through your enemies. This conversion kit with the 60 round drums will increase your damage, increase your range, and of course give you 60 rounds to fire instead of the default 25 rounds, which are not anywhere near enough for Warzone because everyone's going to have armor on and they're going to be rolling in packs of 3s or even 4s, so you need as much ammo as you can get to deal with that. Unless you're playing solos, then you might be able to manage, but even then I still recommend more ammo. For the rear grip, you want to set this to the stippled grip tape. This will increase your aim down sight speed and your sprint to fire speed. So the base ADS for the Aug is 250 milliseconds, which is slow for an SMG. But we also added on the 60 round drum, which takes us up to 300 milliseconds. Then we also added on the Ranger foregrip and the monolithic suppressor. So our gun is getting slower and slower, which is also why I recommend not adding on a barrel. Even though the barrels are great, you get an increase in range, bullet velocity, and even recoil control depending on the barrel. It just becomes so brutal trying to aim down sights when all these attachments are stacked. In close range, you're not going to win any head-to-head gun draws at all. They'll shoot you before you shoot them. So instead of a barrel, I add on a stock. I picked the Force Tac CQB comb. This helps increase our ADS backup to offset the decreases from the other attachments. And now we're in better shape. Another option you could pick instead of the stock is the tac laser. This will give you not only an increase in ADS, but an increase in aiming stability and aim walking steadiness, whereas the stock we chose decreased our aiming stability. The reason I stay away from this though is because the laser will be visible to your enemies, and I would much rather remain hidden, so I run the stock instead. But if you're okay with your laser being visible, then the tac laser is a much better option. So that about wraps it up for this video. You guys now have the best Aug class setup for Warzone. Go get some victories, and if this video was helpful to you, please smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.